Good evening, everybody. I'm Jason Wheeler. Tonight, a new drought-related concern is emerging that could put people's lives in danger out there. Is there enough water to fight a fire in Spicewood? A new high-rise planned in downtown Austin wouldn't be the tallest building in town, but the views it promises to offer are touted as truly out of this world. KITV's Lydia Pantases is live in downtown Austin today with us. And Lydia, this is supposed to be a residential tower and a planetarium. We are continuing our special coverage now of the wildfires here in Central Texas. Workers are busy replacing old railings along bridges that cross I-35, and we got word of what looks like a hazard at one construction site. And so we started asking some questions. That's where that officer was taken after he fired those shots. We're told he sustained some injuries in those scuffles with the suspect. He may have gotten a broken hand out of this. So they've gone ahead and locked that school down just to make sure that everybody inside there is okay. I'm going to lift up this crime scene tape so this officer can make it through. He did. K-9 unit arriving on the scene here. Texas voters could give Mitt Romney the delegates he needs to finally secure the Republican presidential nomination tomorrow. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jason Wheeler. After legal disputes delayed it for months, the Texas primary is tomorrow, and the stakes are high from the presidential race all the way down the ticket. KITV's Karen Kiley joins us now with an election preview from the newsroom. And Karen, for these local races, redistricting is expected to have a big impact on tomorrow's results. Karen, should be an interesting day come tomorrow. And as Karen said, the confusion over redistricting is leading to fears that voter turnout could be lower than ever. That and the fact that Election Day comes one day after a holiday has candidates working extra hard to get out the vote. Hasn't looked good so far, though. Early voting numbers in Travis County were slightly less than the 2010 primary numbers, and they're about 80% off from the 2008 primaries, when then candidate Barack Obama was still battling Hillary Clinton for the presidential nomination. One of the big races to watch tomorrow, the contest to see who will replace retiring U.S. Senator Kay Bailey Hutchison. This one has drawn some of the biggest money and certainly grabbed the most headlines. Among Republicans, it's a four-way race right now between Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst, former Texas Solicitor General Ted Cruz, former Dallas Mayor Tom Leppert, and ESPN football analyst Craig James. A lot of big names there. Dewhurst has been leading most of the polls, but the race could go into a late July runoff if no candidate receives a majority. On the Democratic side, there are four more candidates duking it out, hoping to be the eventual replacement for Senator Hutchison. Addie Daniel Allen, Sean Hubbard, Paul Sadler, and Grady Yarbrough, all seeking the nod on that side. If you plan on voting, polls are open tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. KITV will have full election coverage beginning tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. all the way through the evening. Full perspective coming your way at 10 p.m. Well, the weather expected to not be much of an excuse for low voter turnout tomorrow, because it's going to be another, sounds like, boring hot one here in Central Texas. We're getting used to this. Well, still several more hours left to go in this last night of APD's holiday weekend crackdown. Last night, Austin police arrested 20 more people suspected of drunk driving. That makes 68 DWI arrests since Friday, including one arrest for boating while intoxicated. Most of the arrests were made after a breath test was given, but under the no refusal initiative that's going on right now, those who declined to blow out a sample had their blood drawn instead. The no refusal initiative, by the way, wraps up tomorrow morning at sunrise. Well, today, Central Texans honored those who fought and died for this country. One of the largest Memorial Day ceremonies here in Austin took place at the Texas State Cemetery. The cemetery home to a number of veterans, including two men who fought in this country's first major conflict, the American Revolutionary War. A lot of history out there. Well, Dallas police certainly haven't had much of a holiday today. They've been in a standoff with a man who has been holed up in the cab of a 150-foot tall crane on the SMU campus. The man reportedly climbed to the top of that giant erector after he stole a truck earlier in the day and fled from police. This is the word from police anyway. According to the CBS television station in Dallas, police there don't know if the man is armed, and so they've cleared out the whole area and they plan to just wait him out. They also report that the man appeared visibly sick earlier in the day, maybe if you look close there, as temperatures soared inside that crane cab, which, by the way, does not have air conditioning. At a time when airlines seem to be adding extra charges for everything from seats to snacks, there is another fee in the works tonight. This time, it's the transportation security officials who want you to pay more. You may not have to pay more, though. Republicans want to cut from other social programs to pay for the security fee increase. All of this, though, has to be worked out right now so that the TSA can get its funding in time for next year. A big national championship triathlon here in Austin today. Coming up next, why all the running and cycling and swimming was actually the easy part for some of the participants. And maybe this is how you spent the unofficial start of summer today. It seems, though, that many people are getting a little too much relief at the swimming pool. The startling admissions tonight that adults are making about peeing in the pool. Troy, top that.
I can't do it.
More than 3,000 people from as far away as South America descended on auditorium shores for the capital of Texas triathlon on this Memorial Day. KITV's Adam Bennett shows us how some wounded warriors fought for the chance to represent their country in a new and different way. And Lieutenant Colonel Collins won her division today, putting her on track toward earning a spot on Team USA for the Paratriathlon World Championships in New Zealand this coming October. That chilly dip in Lady Bird Lake must have been the best part of that. Let's check in now on what the rest of the work week looks like. Warm one today, Troy.
It makes you want to go out and take a swim.
It does until you hear the next story.
I had a feeling this was coming.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water again, a new survey by the Water Quality and Health Council finds that 1 in 5 American adults admits to peeing in public pools. 1 in 5, that's surprising. Also, nearly 70% of people surveyed said they don't shower before going for a dip. All right, it was a crypt fit for a king. Why Elvis Presley's burial chamber is now getting a new life. Well, it was a race against time for one Florida couple today. The bride and groom hoping to get through their vows before Tropical Storm Beryl barreled ashore. It's a bride's nightmare with that dress blowing in the wind. Listen to the wind go there. Reporter Scott Thornton was a guest at the wedding and filmed this video. He said the timing actually turned out to be just right. As soon as Ryan and Amanda said, "I do," and kissed, everybody cheered, and then they headed for the reception building just as the rain started to pour. Wonder what that means about the marriage. All right, the crypt that was once the resting place of Elvis Presley is about to go up for auction. It's part of a large mausoleum at Forest Hill Cemetery in Memphis, Tennessee. The king was actually interred there for about 2 months after his death, while his family waited for permission to bury him at Graceland. The auction begins in mid-June. Bidding starts at $100,000. Have a feeling it's going to go a lot higher than that. All right, the UT baseball team, boys of summer they call them, getting an early start to the summer, huh, Adam?
Yeah, not a whole lot of baseball.
Yeah, I've been standing still for several minutes now. I started with service, then I didn't have service, then I had it again, and now I'm getting the warning once again that I am roaming. Sprint customers here all day long have been dealing with that and dropped calls, but we're told one by one tonight, towers are being brought back online once again. A marathon repair effort has been underway today to get Sprint back up and running here in the Austin area.
Can't get no incoming calls, no outgoing calls.
I didn't think I was so dependent on my phone, but after today, it's like, wow, my phone almost rules my life.
Multiple Sprint cell towers have been on the fritz all day. The company won't disclose why, but they do say it's not weather related. Whatever the cause, it has had a serious effect on subscribers like Carla Harris.
I got a lot of calls coming in. I'm waiting on. I'm looking for a job, job calls.
That's important. Some people say there have been calls just too important to miss. And so they've kept on talking, even though their phones have been warning them that they're roaming.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to look at my bill. I'm going to try to get in with customer service as soon as I get some signal and find out are they going to compensate me or something.
You don't even have a signal to call customer service yet.
No, not right now.
Right now, the only official info that users are getting is coming from signs like this one on the front door at the Sprint store. It's kind of a printed equivalent of a dropped call, though. It gives no explanation, no consolation, but plenty of frustration to phone customers who've had to call on all their patients today to keep from going over the line.
I almost threw out the 3rd floor window. So,
It's pretty bad.
yeah, I was very upset.
It is frustrating, but whatever you do, don't throw the phone. Now, if you looked closely at that sign that was on the Sprint store door there, it said that other major carriers, including AT&T and Verizon, have also had disruptions here in the Austin area. We tried confirming that with Verizon tonight. We haven't heard back from them yet, but oddly, AT&T did check on this. They say they haven't experienced any such disruptions to their service here in the Austin area, so they don't know why they're being included on that sign. There is so much debris to go through tonight, but no deaths have been reported so far, which is pretty amazing considering that powerful tornadoes ripped through such a populated area. Now, we have some video that you're looking at right here. This was shot by a former Austinite named Jason Doss, who now works with the Texas Severe Storm Intercept. That's a group of storm chasers. Look how close they got to the storm there this afternoon. Like everyone else in North Texas today, they were astonished by what they saw.
Look closely. Nothing, not even hefty tractor trailers, could escape the relentless pull from above as multiple twisters raked across the Metroplex Tuesday afternoon.
Oh my God, tornado right on the top of my house. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Vincent Tang stood on top of his roof during it all, camera in hand,
Holy moly.
in awe of nature's fury.
In my entire life, never scared like this.
As Tang looked straight up at the tempest,
Oh my God, look at that, the debris fly. Oh my God.
others bowed their heads and begged to be spared.
And I could say, Jesus, save me from the storm.
Many North Texans heeded the warnings
This whole storm is just rotating very violently.
and scrambled for cover.
I got into the closet with my animals. Thank God the kids were not at home today. It looks like a disaster area. It felt like a Iraq, Baghdad. It's indescribable. Indescribable.
That description, or lack thereof, actually fits in one neighborhood after another after another. Debris is everywhere. So much was so quickly knocked so far out of place that one woman who was briefly covered with debris was too bewildered to even think of how to stand up again.
I was crying for help, somebody help me. I didn't even know that I had legs to stand.
The people of Dallas-Fort Worth will now begin to assess how much has been destroyed. The tally will no doubt be impressive, but perhaps even more astonishing
Amazing that we're still living.
is how much wasn't destroyed during what was a tumultuous spring afternoon in North Texas.